Why did Germany fail on D-Day? Hitler subscribed to the idea that the strongest would survive or the cream would rise to the top, be it man, beast, or in this case, generals and military units. He set up the command structure in a way as to not necessarily cooperate, but to have degrees of independence, to compete, fight, and challenge each other, so inevitably, the strongest, most ruthless would rise to the top. In a lot of instances, though, he reserved supreme authority for himself, many times over elite units. In terms of D-Day preparations, these things completely backfire on the Germans. The unclear command structure caused bitter arguments between the generals. They couldn't agree on the best defensive strategy. Rommel stressed that the only hope they had was to position the bulk of the panzers as close as possible to the most likely landing sites and launch an all-out counterattack on the beaches as the Allies were landing, driving them back into the sea before they could establish a foothold. However, von Rundstedt and von Schweppenberg disagreed. They argued for a defense-in-depth strategy where the panzers would be held back further inland until it became clear where the landing site was. They would then be unleashed in a huge armored fist of fury. Rommel vigorously challenged this and told Rundstedt to his face that he was clueless. Without air superiority, he continued, this big fist of fury will be wiped off the map before it even reaches the beaches. He had seen how ferocious Allied air power was during his campaign in Africa. Unable to come to an agreement, Rommel went behind von Rundstedt's back and appealed directly to Hitler. Unclear on the best course of action himself, Hitler eventually compromised with both of them. This was probably the worst possible outcome, resulting in the already limited and scattered troops being split up even further. Rommel was given 3 panzer divisions to have near the beaches of his choosing. The rest would remain further back in reserve, 4 with Panzer Group West under von Rundstedt and von Schweppenberg, and 3 more would go to Army Group G, south of the River Loire, whom Rundstedt also controlled. Ultimately, when D-Day finally arrived, Germany's most capable forces were horrendously scattered about France, many nowhere near striking distance of the likely landing sites, and the ones stationed in the south were so far away from the Atlantic Wall that they were irrelevant altogether. Regardless, both sides now had their boards set, and the Allied pieces were ready to move. For the full story, click the link below.